chapter 7, to have sex or not to have sex? That is the question. It's not really a question, it's a choice. I love this chapter. This chapter is so cool and talks about the different ways we have to deal with making decisions on not to have sex. And like I talked about in a previous chapter, we talked about, how I personally don't really jive with those things where you have the pinky promises or the person that you call if you're in that moment and they're supposed to talk you down, basically talk you down person. At the end of the day, you have to make a decision that your Father is not trying to take something away from you that is of value. He's trying to get something to you that is of value. And you are going to have to make a conscious decision that, based on the fact that you've decided to live your life according to the way that God instructs us to, which will get the desired result that you're looking for, that some things are just going to have to go. I'm not going to list all the things. You know what things you shouldn't be doing that puts you in the place where you start thinking, how much of this I can do and get away with it without sinning. Because again, like I said on chapter 4, I believe that once you make it up in your mind and you start playing that mind game with yourself of what you should or should not do, or I'm gonna just do a little bit, you're actually compromising. Either it's all or nothing. So you got to think about it. It's not I'm not getting anything. I want it all. I want everything. And the only way to get everything is you got to do the work. It's a process. And I had my pom-poms and I forgot them. But anyway, it's a process. And I'm shaking my pom-poms because guess what? You can do it. You're not an animal. You're not an animal that when you get aroused that your body takes over and you can't make a decision. And if you have, there are people who have issues or diagnoses that they may need to see a therapist about. Before, about 97% of us, and I'll do the numbers and put them in the comments below, that don't deal with the problem that don't deal with this problem, you can make a conscious decision to say no. Even the Bible talks about it, how I can't think of his name, he ran out of his clothes because Potiphar's wife was trying to seduce him. And instead of staying there, he ran. And he was accused of rape. And he was put in jail. But however, God elevated him to second in command of all Egypt. Things are going to happen, okay? There will be situations where you will say, what's the problem in it? Like, come on. I just want to go home with him. I just want to feel how it feels to be with somebody. But is that helping you to get to your end result? And we're together and we're eventually going to get married. Is that helping you get to your end result? If you're going to get married, why jeopardize it now? Have people had sex and got married? Yeah, I'm sure they did. This isn't about people. This is about you making a decision on your singletude, on your walk of purity, on your promise to God that you want his best. And in order to get his best, you are willing to work on some things with the inside of you. You are willing to deal on some issues from your past relationships. You are willing to look at yourself in the mirror and make the course corrections that you need to make, because there is absolutely no ecstasy like destiny. And when you are walking in destiny, everybody is not supposed to walk with you. So we want to seek God on our partner. We want to seek God with help on our purity. We want to seek God in any and everything that we're doing. I'm not trying to make this religious. The Bible is there. And for those that say, well, there are those that are out there doing it, that's on them. I'm not God. And God, if God can't stop them, Lord knows I can't stop them either. This is not about that. This is about you. And this book and these chapters ain't for everybody. This is for the person who said, I'm tired of what I've been going through. God, your word says that you would give us the desire of our hearts. What is it that I need to do, that I am prepared, that I am God's best for somebody else's life? Because we always thinking about finding the person that's God's best for your life, but are you your best for someone else's life? I'm not saying are you perfect. I'm not saying that you're not working on you're not working on some things, but there are times when we need to just look inwardly. We need to heal from past experiences. We need to be open to new experiences. We need to, all of those things that you are requiring from the person that you believe God created for you. You should be okay in those areas too. Those people that say, I want someone that's fit. Are you fit? I want someone whose credit is they got to have good credit. Is your credit okay? He got to be on his own business and drive a new car. Have you pursued your passion and opened your business, or become an entrepreneur, or are working towards that? Stop looking at everyone else. Yes, this is that chapter. We've gotten here. We're halfway through. And it's the time to take a hard look at who you are. Because the only person we can change is us. And this is the point that you decide that what have been doing up to this point was not working. And if it was, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take this book and I want you to close it, and I want you to continue living your life through you living your best life. Because I guess you don't need this. But if for any second there was something that you said, I want better, I want what God has, there has to be more to life, to relationships than this. Because there is. There really, 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 really is. And this is just a start. You have great people out there that's teaching great content. When I started this process, it wasn't as saturated as it is right now, but there is some good information out there. But guess what? They all start with before the man. Like, what do you do before he or she gets here? You work on the person in the mirror. And for you who are saying, and I don't need nothing to work on, I'm quite sure there's something. And I could even go so far as to say there has to be something if you're listening to this. Even myself now, there are areas that I continually ask God, show me something I need to be working on right now. There are 3 mentors in my life that I trust their words, even though I may not agree with them or like them, or I might want to, be like, for real. You know how when you hear something, it's true, but you like, you wanna complain or gripe up against it. Ask 3 people that are your mentors, or people that you respect their words, not necessarily go along with, agree with their words, and ask them 3 things about yourself that you could be working on. Doesn't mean those things are wrong or hard. It's just some things you might need to work on. So, for example, I have this facial thing that I deal with continually, which has gotten a whole lot better. And because I know this is an issue, I have to make sure that when something I'm passionate about, that the emotion that's coming off that is on my face matches it, because I don't want the receiver to be caught off by this and lose sight of what I'm trying to say to them. So sometimes it may not be negative things. It may be little tweaks that you have to make in your life, but do it. do it. Because guess what? We don't want anything stopping us from receiving God's best for our life. I don't. I know you don't. But this chapter, whoo, you got to read it. You got to read it to have sex or not to have sex. Woo. Pretty good chapter, if I do say so myself. But to boil down and sum it up is there are going to be outside stimuli. There are going to be things that happen. There are going to be old memories, old friends. There may be situations that you are going to have to make a decision to stand on the decision you have made to trust God, to work the process, and to get to your singletude. And that is your attitude where you are successfully single. And can I tell you a little tip? When you get there, there is something about being confident about who you are, whose you are, and where you're going. That's a different level of attraction. There's a different level of confidence. There's a different level of beauty. There's a different level of an aura that you have about you when you know who you are and whose you are, where you're going. So that's why I like this chapter. I like this point because this is the stay and continue on the process, or I'm just not there. But could you do me one favor? This book, this video will be here. If you decide to stop right now, there ain't no condemnation, none whatsoever. Peace to you. Just know the moment you feel like you want to come back and you want to finish out this thing, you're welcome. And I embrace you with open arms. But I pray that you stay. I pray that each and every one of you that is watching this video are prepared for God to blow your mind in the area of your purpose first, in the area of your relationships second, and third, in the area of your destiny. Because, say it with me, there is no ecstasy like destiny.